Good morning.
Good morning.
And welcome to Morning Maths.
Welcome to Morning Maths.
You got two today, two people today.
You got two people today.
I thought he was going to copy my laugh.
That's not a repetition, that is two of us actually doing Morning Maths today.
Right, let's go. Year 3, I'll do year 3, and Mr. Blom will do year 4. So, year 3, 36 times 100. 36 times 1 would just be 36. 36 times 100 is 36 with 2 zeros on it. This is quite a big number for year 3, but 2 zeros, 1, 2, we say 3,600. Units, tens, hundreds, thousands, so 3,600. And question 2. This is addition. There's actually no words in year 3 today. It's all symbols, isn't it? So addition, 256 plus 472. Make sure you line it up down the right. As always, pause the video if you need time to do your recording. 6 plus 2 is 8. 5 plus 7 is 12. 2 plus 4 is 6, plus 1 is 7. Plus makes things bigger. This all got bigger. And we're on question 3.
Well done, Mr. Saul.
I've had a little bit of practice, haven't I now?
Yeah.
Day 49. Question 3. Actually, I know I've done maths for years and years. That's what I do, isn't it? But I've actually noticed my accuracy going up a bit just making these videos because it's just more practice.
If you've been practicing daily, you should be absolutely fine. You should be getting better every single week.
But you never get perfect, or I don't anyway.
No, I've certainly made mistakes.
9 take away 1 is 8. I know I'm not perfect at writing my 8s. That one was good. I'm supposed to start them at the top when you write your 8s. I often start them in the middle, which is naughty. 8 take away 9, I can't do. We'll get some help from the 3, which goes down to a 2. 18 take away 9 is 9. 2 take away 2 is 0, which you don't need to write. It's 98. 389, we took something away, it got smaller. That's what happens in minus, 98. Actually, now that Mr. Blom's here, he can check all my work and let me know if I do make a mistake, which is handy.
Yeah.
Question 4. 324 times 5. We've got much bigger in year 3, haven't we, Mr. Blom, since you last did a video with our multiplication. So I'll do this in 2 ways. I'll split it up into 300, 20, and 4. Multiply them all by 5.
Ah, nice.
This is like a partitioning method. It's very similar to what we do in the grid method. I've been doing both for year 3 for the last few weeks. So 300 times 5. Let's move this over. I don't know why I've written it right over there. 300 times 5 is like 3 times 5. 3 times 5 is 15. And we'll just need to place these 2 zeros from the question. 1,500. These are big numbers for year 3 now, going into 4-digit numbers that year 4 will be doing. You'll be doing as year 4s next year. 20 times 5. 2 times 5 makes 10. So that 2 times 5 made a 10. You've got to place this extra 0 as well. So we made our own 10. We've got to still place a 0, so it's 100. If I line this up down the right, I'll be able to add it up nicely at the end. 4 times 5 is 20. So I'll add these 3 numbers. I get 1,620. Let's see if I get the same if I do the grid method. I'll try and leave them both on the screen for you. So with the grid method, we also partition 324 into 320 and 4. Let's do a different colour so it doesn't get mixed up with the one above. 320 and 4. And you must be pretty good at partitioning now if you've been following these videos every day, year 3s. Times it by 5. The answer's in purple. 5 times 300. 5 times 3 is 15. Place the 2 zeros. We're doing the same thing really as we did above, aren't we? Put a line between the 2 methods, but they're very, very similar. 5 times 20. 5 times 2 is 10. And place this 0 is 100. 5 times 4 is 20. Sorry about that. I don't know why that needs to. Yeah, thank you. 5 times 4 is 20. Now I would add up these three answers, 1,500, 120, but as you can see, I already did that. I don't really need to repeat that for you, do I?
No.
Because I already added up those three numbers, and it's definitely going to be 1,620. 4-digit answer. 1, 2, 3, 4-digit answer. 1,620. The last question for year 3, 41, unless you go on, of course. 41 divided by 5. So I'm going to do this in 3 methods. First of all, I'll sing my 5s. I mustn't go past 41. 5, 10, 15.
20.
Oh, I messed it up. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40.
Stop.
Got to stop. I've got 8 fingers. I haven't got 8 fingers, but I've got 8 fingers up because I counted 5 8 times. But I counted 40 and that says 41, so I have a remainder 1. 8 remainder 1. If we do that on a number line, I basically just draw what I just sang. I'll start at 0, go up to 41. I'll count in 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Then the next one, I can't jump a 5.
Yeah.
That jump at the end, that's a special jump. It's only going up 1, isn't it? That's the remainder. But the main jumps are in 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. How many jumps? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 jumps, and we had 1 remaining at the end. So as we know, it's 8 remainder 1. Finally, on the bus stop, 41 divided by 5. 5 doesn't fit into 4. It's too big, so it's 0. You carry the 4. You end up just doing 5. Yeah, 5 into 41. You end up doing the singing method, which I'll just do quickly again. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. That's 8 fingers and 1 remaining. And this is how we should write our answers in year 3, really, with the remainders. I know on one of the answers a couple of days ago, I actually accidentally put a decimal answer on for you, which is really year 5 level. 8 remainder 1 is fine. And I think it's time for me to pass over to Mr. Blom for year 4.
I'm really impressed with the use of colour, Mr. Saul. Over the course of the weeks, you've got better at this.
Yeah.
We start off with quite a tough one, I think. It's quite a I think multiplying by 1,000. Of course, we understand that term when they say, "Oh, just add zeros." But why do we do that? If I had to say to you, Mr. Saul, just before we do the question, if I had to say to you 10 times 5, what are we saying? We're saying there are 10 5s, or we're saying there are 5 10s. So if we count here together, we say, okay, there's 1 10, right? There's 5 of them, right? 2 10s, 3 10s, 4 10s, 5 10s. So the answer is 50, and the question was 5. You see, the number 5, the actual unit, doesn't change its value. But what changes? The place value changes. You see how that 5 becomes a 10. So that's very, very important. I always say that before I do a question like that, in that when you're doing a question like this, and you're increasing the place value, you understand why. So we're multiplying by 557, so we're doing 1,000 multiplied by 557. We're going to move these place values up by 3. Okay, so the place value is going to be moved up by 3. So at the moment we've got 557. And we want to move this number up 3 spaces. So there's 1 space, 2 space, 3 space. So this 5 I want to move all the way over there. This 5 I want to move away all the way there. That's moving 3 spaces, 3 place values. And this 7 I'm going to move all the way there. Now, obviously, I just put 5. It's going to be there. Now, we can't write nothing for there because actually they're supposed to be place values in there, aren't they, Mr. Saul? Because it's a unit, it's a 10, it's 100, it's 1,000, it's a 10,000, and then 100,000. So actually, I've moved this number 500 all the way to 500,000. I have to put numbers in here. I'm actually going to put a different colour, Mr. Saul. Nope. So what I've done is yes, okay, I have added 3 zeros. But what I'm actually doing is I'm moving every single value up 3 place values, because we know, and I did it with the question with the 10 times 5, is the value of those numbers don't change. It is just the place value of them that does change. Very important you understand that. And once you understand it, we'll never get those questions wrong.
That's a huge answer for year 4.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
We don't normally go this big. It's only because it's right at the end of the year here.
Yeah. So I hope you understood that, and I did feel that was a tough one. That's why we went quite long with that one. Okay, so we've got 7 meters, and we've got 546 centimeters. Where people would have got wrong is they would have looked at the question and probably just added the 2. But actually, if you look at their units of measurement, look at the measurement, meters and centimeters do not equal the same. So you need to understand how many centimeters make up a meter. Mr. Saul, how many centimeters make up a meter?
100 centimeters.
So 100 centimeters, and I actually usually write that down so I'm not putting it in the block. 100 centimeters equals 1 meter. So we've got 546 centimeters, we've got 7 meters. You can decide what you want to change these to. You can either change them to meters, or you can either change them to centimeters. I'm going to change them both to centimeters, Mr. Saul, is that alright?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to change the 7 meters over here, and all I know is I need to multiply it by 100, because it's 100 centimeters equals 1 meter. So that makes 700 centimeters. Now, do I need to change the other amount? No, I don't. I just need to add it to that 700. So I've got 7,546 plus 700. As long as these two amounts over here are the same, I'm absolutely spot on. I'm absolutely fine. So we've got 6, we've got 4, and we've got 12. So we've got 1,246 centimeters. So I can make them both centimeters. If we want to put them back to meters, okay, this is slightly more difficult because we are having to divide by that 100 instead of timesing. That's quite hard for year 4. So if you got that, that's absolutely fine. And if you got 1.246, oh no, sorry, 12, isn't it? Is it 12? Yeah, it's 12.46 meters. You got them right either way, as long as you converted it to one of the units of measure. Oh, tricky for year 4 today. We're going to share 3980 between 5. One trick I always like is when you're dividing by 5, you can tell if a number is going to go in if you look at the last number, and if the last number is 0 or 5, you know it's going to go in perfectly. So this number, we know, Mr. Saul, is going to go in absolutely perfectly. Do we do a bus-up method for this one?
Yeah, in year 4 we would.
Yeah, in year 4 we're going to do the bus-up method. So we write 3980, and then we're going to share it 5 times. 5 does not go into 3. 5 can go, however, into 39. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. We're not going to go to 40, it's too much. So that goes in 7 times. 35 to 39 is 36, 37, 38, 39. It's 4 numbers. So it's 4 numbers of leftover amount. So that leftover amount goes here, and that becomes 48. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. I've got 9 fingers on my hand here. I can't go to 50, Mr. Saul, it's too many. So it's going to be 9. But we've got 45 to 48, it's going to be my remainder. 46, 47, 48. I've got 3 left over. And I proved myself, what I said earlier, is that it's going to go in perfectly, isn't it? Because the number ends in 0. 5 goes into 30. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I hope your fingers are up while I'm saying that. It goes in 6 times. 7, 9, 6. And then we've got the product of 9, 7, 8, and 7. The product, we need to understand that vocabulary. Product means multiplication. Product, right, that's nice and big, so you can never forget it, equals multiplication. This red is a very aggressive color, so I'm going to go back to blue, and we're going to do multiplication because it tells us to. We're going to take that 9, 7, 8, we're going to multiply it by 5.
7.
Is it 7 or 5? Oh, sorry. Multiply it by 7. I was looking at the previous question. Because I've got the big screen in front of me today. 8 times 7 is 56. 5 left over. So I'll just draw my lines. 7 times 7, 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42. 49 is 49 plus 5 is 54. I'm out of practice with this morning maths. And then 9 times 7 is 63. 63 plus 5 is 68. I need to check that. 6,846. I'm just going to quickly check that. 7 times 8 is 56. So 8 times 5 is 48, 6, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56. That's fine. 7 times, you've got 50 as your leftover amount. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49. 49 plus 5 is 54. 9 times 7 is 63. Plus that 5 is 68. I think that's fine. Let me just 100% check. 6846. 6846. See, even I'm a bit like, nervous if I got it right or wrong. I've got Mr. Saul bearing down on me, judging me as I'm saying every question. And then finally, we've got a nice money question. With the money question, you need to make sure that all of your place values are met. When you do money, you're going to have a unit value, you're going to have a 10 value, well, you're going to at least have a unit value, but I can see there's a 10 value here. Oh, there's no 10 value. There's going to be a unit value always, and there's going to be a 10th value always, and there's going to be a 100th value always. Okay, and that's going to be your pence, isn't that, Mr. Saul? This is going to be your pence bit. So I'm going to write my number down. £9.90, and we're going to take away £5. And the reason why I'm saying you need these place values here, you need to actually put in what is called, and my year 5s will know very well if they're listening at the moment, placeholders. You need to put in placeholders, which is zeros that help you complete the calculations without changing the value of the number. If I put the zeros there, is the number changing? Not at all. Mr. Shaw's nodding. He agrees with me. The number is not changing in value at all. 5.00 is exactly the same as 5. Do you agree? Okay, Inspector Sewell's here.
Yeah.
Right, so change the colour. 0 minus 0, so now it's just got to do a subtraction calculation. I haven't put the numbers down, have I? I always forget to put the numbers down. 0 minus 0 is 0. 9 minus 0 is 9. Put your decimal point in there, it's very, very important. And 9 minus 5 is 4, which gives you £4.90.
Great.
Is that correct?
Yep, it's actually, that's not the hardest one ever, is it?
No, it's not too bad. It's just putting those placeholders in, like I said.
Let's go on to year 5. Just so Mr. Blom knows, we've been getting super fast in year 6. Year 5, medium fast.
I think year 5 can go fast, yeah.
Yeah, I'll go pretty fast. Well, I've written 5 for year 5, but it's at question 11, isn't it? But year 6, I've been going super quick because watching them do it in class, as you have, well, of course, yeah. So,
key worker children.
4.5 divided by 1,000. 4.5 is going to get 3 places smaller. So the 4, this is the same place value, so it's going to get 1, 2, 3 places smaller, so it'll go towards a decimal end where things are really small. The 5 also, instead of being in the same column, the same place value, which is tenths of course, isn't it? It'll get 3 places smaller. 1, 2, 3. Right over there, that was units. The places in year 5, we teach you up to thousandths. We've actually gone past that being the end of the year. This column is actually 10 thousandths. It's like you get something, you split it into 10,000 pieces. Those pieces are really, really tiny, aren't they? So any zeros will fill in. Any gaps will be filled in by zeros. So we get a very small number. It was quite small anyway. It was 4 and a bit. When you divide it by 1,000, it's 0.0045.
Being 1,000 times smaller.
1,000 times smaller now, very small. Question 12. 8,436 multiplied by 40. For some reason I'm thinking this was going to be divide, but it's multiplied. You could, some people like to multiply it by 4 and then place a 0 at the end. That's fine, I don't mind if you do that at all. I'm just going to keep the 40 as it is. But what happens if I do this is I end up with a line of zeros. 0 times 6 is 0, 0 times 3 is 0, 0 times 4 is 0, 0 times 8 is 0. Looks a bit strange. This is 40, so I'll put the 0 in and then treat it like it's 4, even though it's not. 4 times 6 is 24. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2 is 14. 4 times 4 is 16, plus 1, 17. 4 times 8 is 32, plus 1, 33. Then I'll cross out my little 1s and 2s, add up my 2 answers at the end. Mr. Blom's checking for me, so it does make me feel more confident because he would soon yell out if I'd done something wrong, I think. Yeah. So that says 337,000, that's the thousands comma, 440. 337,440. Happy, Mr. Blom?
I think that's right, yeah.
And we're on question 13.
With that one, just if you got 40, if you got 40, a number that ends in a 0, you could partition that number before. So you could do 8436 times 4 and then just multiply it by 10 straight up.
Yep. Question 13 is take things away. Now with takeaways, you need to put the biggest number at the top. I'm sure you can all see what the biggest number is. 83 and a bit is bigger than 2 and a bit. 83.5, 83 and a bit. Then we have 2.27. We must line up the decimal points. 2.27. Now these takeaways, if you use this method like this, will only work if you place a 0 here. 0 take away 7 we can't do. Borrow from the 5 goes down to a 4. 10 take away 7 is 3. 4 take away 2 is 2. 3 take away 2 is 1. 8. It's actually worth 80, isn't it? That 81.23. 81.23 minus makes things smaller. 83 and a bit take away 2 and a bit was 81 and a bit. Is that right, Mr. Blum? Take away 2 goes down to 81. Yes. Little, if you do little number bonds check, little number bonds to 50 check. 27 and 23 go together to make 50, don't they? Yeah. Okay.
And also you can do an estimate before on these kind of question decimals. Is that just take away the decimals, and you say what's 83 minus 82, and you say 81. That's around about where the answer is going to be.
Roundabout,
so
yeah.
If it's that, you'll be pretty confident.
Let's do question 14. There's two ways of doing this. You could divide one. Well, if you have watched these videos, you will see me dividing 1 by 8 sometimes. So we could divide 1 litre by 8, or we could change it to millilitres. Let's divide 1 litre by 8. Doesn't work unless you put 0.00. You know me, I like to put 2 zeros on. Sometimes I need more, sometimes less. 8 into 1 is 0, carried a 1. How many 8s in 10? 1, carried a 2. How many 8s in 20? 8 and 16 is 2. Remainder 4, need another 0. That's okay, it's still 1 point nothing, isn't it? Haven't changed the number, still 1. How many 8s in 40? 8 and 16, 24 and 32, 40. It's 5. Line up the decimal point. So if we kept it in litres, 1 litre divided by 8, it's 0.125 litres. Because you had 1 litre, when you share it between 8, you haven't got any whole litres anymore, you've got bits of a litre. The other way you could do it is you just change 1 litre into 1,000 millilitres at the start. You'll get a similar looking answer, but a very different size, although it's still the same amount of water or whatever we're measuring. So we'll do 8,000 millilitres divided by 8, and it's very similar calculation to what we just did. That's not similar, is it? Because I did it wrong. How many 8s in 10 is 1, carry the 2, 2 carry the 4, and 5. So we get 125 millilitres, because that is the same as 0.125 litres. So both of those are correct. And we're on question 15.
1 litre by 8, you're actually saying you have 1/8 of a litre.
Yeah, so the fraction answer is 1/8 of a litre. That's an easier answer to find, isn't it?
On one of the videos that we did the football, like we went through all of the 8ths and found out what each of them mean, and there's like a little pattern with them.
Question 15 is 400. Oh, we've got to do some changing here because we have 489 centimetres. I'm going to stick with centimetres. 6 metres. Well, 1 metre is 100 centimetres. So 6 metres is 600. That lines up nicely.
Yeah.
But 23 metres is a lot bigger than 6 metres. 23 metres is 2,300 centimetres. You know, when we do these place value questions, they're helpful for this because it's 2,300. So you write 23 like that. And it needs another place because it had 2 digits, goes to 4, whereas 6 had 1 digit and went to 3. We're adding these in centimetres, so my answer will be in centimetres. 3,389 centimetres, which is, if you did metres, 33.89 metres when we divide it by 100. But they're worth the same. That many centimetres, 3,389, is the same as 33.89 metres. I'll hand over to Mr. Blum for the super quick year 6.
Okay, so I'm told to go really, really fast. I'm going to go like fast as in like I used to go with my year 5, so I'll go really fast. Right, 4 divided by 10,000, okay. I'm going to try and write the questions down this time. 4 divided by 10,000, probably give me drawing on the board. We're moving the
0, Mr. B.
10,000, sorry. Moving the 4 down 4 place values, right, the units. Right, 10th, that's 1 place value moved down. That would be 2, that would be 3. I mean, very similar to Mr. Saul, just only slight differences here and there that we do, Mr. Saul. So, as you can see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That'd be 4 movements. 10,000 has got 4 zeros in it, which means that place value is moving 4 times. So the 4 is going to move all the way down here. The place values are going to, because that number is moving down place values, I need something to go in here, otherwise it's not going to work. So we're going to go 0, 0, 0. That unit there, we need to put the decimal point in, so it'll be 0.0004. Mr. Saul, checking me out. Make sure you check me, sir, because I'm going to go fast. We're going to add 45 litres. 45 litres, we're going to add that to 7,800 mils. Right, first, let's change this litres to millilitres. What is the difference? It's 1,000 litres. 1 litre equals 1,000 mils. Is that right, Mr. Sewell?
Yep.
Yep, so let's do it. 45, 1, 2, 3, 3 zeros, 45,000. Let's add 7,800. 0, 0, 8, 12, 1, 5. 52,800 millilitres. There you go. If you want to put that back into litres, you swap that comma for a decimal point, 52.8 litres. We don't need those zeros anymore. Next question. Go. Whew, 450. These questions got massive. Divided by 25. Oh my goodness. If you are not showing you 25 times table, write them down the side. 25, 50, 75, 100, 125, 150, 175, 200. Write down what multiple they are, just so I can help you. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, that's 5, that's 6, that's 7, that's 8. I should be okay with 8. If not, we'll just go further on. 25 into 46, okay, only goes once. Oh. We've got a leftover amount for the days here. Okay, so we've got 25 to 30 is going to be 5. 30 to 40 is, so let me write these down. 5. 30 to 40 is going to be 10, and 40 to 6 is going to be 6. So I'm going to add those together. 21 left over, so it becomes 212. Mr. Saul, you might have to do this on a calculator just to check them right. So 25 is 212. Okay, it's just larger than that one, so I'm going to say it goes 8 times. 8, so it's going to be 12 left over, is that right? Yep, 12 left over. That becomes 124. 25 into 124, woo! It goes 5 times with 1 left over.
Not 5 times. Because we only have 124.
Oh, you're right. It's just below that one. It's going to be 4 times. I thought I was going to get an easy way out here, but unfortunately not. It's going to be 4 times with 100 left. Is that right? For 25 left over? 24 left over? Yeah. That's right, sorry, it's 124, yep. And that becomes 245. 245 is going to be the one after the 8th multiple. So the 9th multiple is going to be 225. So therefore, 25 into 245 is going to be the 9th multiple. Our leftover amount is going to be whatever we have from 225 to 245. I'm actually going to quickly write this down. I'm going to quickly write 245 minus 225. I hope you don't mind this, so just a 100% check. Oh, that's pretty easy. It's going to be 20 left over. And that's going to be 200. 25 to 200. I'm going to make this nice and big because I'm celebrating getting this right. It's going to go into that 8th multiple over there, which makes my final answer. The 8th multiple is going to be the last one. The answer should be 18498.
Yeah, no remainder, that's right.
Woo! Thank goodness for that. And then we've got 2 more questions left. I'm trying to go quick. 235 multiplied by 92. Pretty straightforward. 235 multiplied by 92. We're multiplying this one by 9. We're multiplying this one by... No, we're not. Multiplying this one by 2. We're multiplying this one by 90. I always like writing that just to make 100% sure. And then we're going to add the 2 multiples together to get our answer. I'm going to multiply by 10 this row straight away, which means that I only have to multiply by 9. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 3 is 6 plus 1 is 7. 2 times 2 is 4. Then I'm going to multiply by 9 because I've already multiplied by 10. 9 times, let's get rid of that. 9 times 5 is 45. 9 times 3, 9, 18, 27. 27 plus 3 is 31. 9 times 2 is 18. 18 plus 3 is 21.
Is that right? I have a feeling we did something wrong there.
Probably.
On this line.
Let's try again. 9 times 5 is 45. 9 times 3, 9, 18, 27. 27 plus 4. There you go.
It's okay. I think it is right. Is it right?
Is it? I'll go again. I'll go again.
It's because you carry them in a different place to me. I get a bit
Yeah,
lost.
sorry. It's just the old habits. 9 times 5 is 45, Mr. Saul. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so 40. 9 times 3, 9, 18, 27. 27 plus 4 is 31. I think I was wrong. 9, 18, 18. 9 times 2 is 18. 18 plus 3 is 21.
Yeah.
And there you go, I got it there. I think I might have written something wrong in that third line there, but it's not a problem. And now I've just got to add the numbers together. 0 plus 0 is 0. 7 plus 5 is 12. And then 4 plus 1 is 5. Plus that one is 6. No. Yeah, 4 plus 1 is 5, plus 1 is 6. And then you've got 1, and then you've got 2 over there. So you've got 2, 1, 6, 2, 0. Let me check if this is right. 2, 1, 6, 2, 0.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct.
In grams. That's in grams, isn't it, that one?
Oh yeah, 335 grams by. So that's the answers in grams. We didn't see the G there. The G would just be over there. And finally, to finish off, we've got 9. Take away a decimal number. Look how many decimal place values there are over here. There are 3. So actually what I'm going to do straight away is I'm going to write 3 place values over there. I'm not going to write this in blue, or I'm going to move this over. So I'm going to do 9.000. The reason why I'm doing that is because the next number that I'm subtracting has 3 place values. 7, 4, 8. Line. I'm going to answer the question in a different colour. I'm liking that purple, Mr. Saul. Alright, so we can't do 0 minus 8. I can't take something away from nothing. So we're going to go, boom, we're going to lend. We're going to lend again. We're going to lend again. And then we're going to have 10 minus 8 finally, which is 2. 9 minus 4 is 5. 9 minus 7 is 2. 8 minus 5 is 3. Don't forget the decimal point, because that will give you 3.252. If I estimated that, I'd get it around, what would I say? More than 3. So there you go.
Yay! All done.
Yay!
Day 49, wasn't it? All done.
Yeah.
Let's put the answers on. Check your answers. Pause here. We'll see you again next time.
I know some of my children are going to be running towards the screen now to pause it.